All right, hello and welcome to Sketch Card Saturday night. We're gonna knock out a few sketch cards, and tonight we are going to do Red Sonja. I think I've only drawn her once, and I think it was for a sketch cover that someone asked about. Other than that, I haven't really drawn Red Sonja before, so I don't know how this is going to turn out. Should be interesting, but we'll go ahead and get started. If you got questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to ramble about something. I'm not even sure, what makes Red Sonja, to be honest. Um, as I look, I mean, am I just drawing a beautiful woman with red hair? I mean, is that it? Is that all it is? Or does she have some distinguishing features that maybe I could focus on? I'm not sure, but since I've never done it before, I'm just going to start off trying to do something from a cutie pie perspective, right? Just try to make a woman who looks good, and then maybe I can get to a point where I'm like, oh, okay, I see where I can add in a little something, something. Female Conan. Ah, that's a good, that's a good way to describe her. I can agree with that. And I think they do a movie or comic together with the two of them together, Conan and uh, uh and Red Sonja. I do remember the movie. Is there? But here's the funny thing: if I was just doing Conan, right? If I was just doing a picture of Conan, a sketch card, head and shoulders, would you know it was Conan that I was doing? I mean, would it be that distinguishable? Oh, okay, gotcha. So I know the red hair. Is there another character with red hair that could be mistaken for Red Sonja? Oh, okay, cool. All right. Well, then I'm going to try my best to do something where it's obvious that this is Red Sonja. Um, so please, any suggestions? I wouldn't mind at all. If I can. Actually, I don't like that. That's too close. That ear is too close. Gotta move it back just a little bit. I love drawing women. However, they're tricky because the more lines you put in, the older they look. Whereas guys, the more lines you put in, you can make them look rugged, you can make them look tough. And with a female character, you want her to be badass, but you don't want her to look old, right? You don't want her to appear wrinkled. Um, so it's good to. There are some people who who I admire, who I look out and I look at the way they do women and I'm like, yeah, that's badass. For example, one of my iconics would be this is a 4x6. This is a 4x6, yes, sir. Now, pirate like, I can dig it. I can definitely dig it if she's pirate like. Um, but Frank Frazetta, who is like one of my all time favorites, of course, um, he just had a way of making women look feminine yet badass. Boris Vallejo, Julie Bell, some people who I think really, anyway, really can just, they have a knack for it. And I do fantasy art a lot. And so it is definitely, in that genre. But a lot of times it's just I'm not you, but me. I'm drawing a woman who's a character. Whether she's a wizard or a druid or a shape changer or a thief. So there's other stuff that goes along with it. But when it comes to, and of course I do some of the comic hero fan art stuff and everything. But when it comes to characters that are just headshots, hey, she's kind of cute. I can dig it. You're familiar with Boris? A lot of people aren't familiar with Boris. Hey, she's a cutie, actually. When it comes to just any character that's just a headshot, and I just finished watching a James Bond movie. What kind of makes him James Bond is the tuxedo. Other than that, it's just a guy. So you could draw a cool guy, not in a tuxedo, and it still be James Bond, but would people know it's James Bond? And so I like this, except that jaw is just a little too rugged for me. So I'm gonna change that up just a little bit and soften the jaw a little bit. That's too much. When I do portraits for people, that's easy because I'm doing it of somebody. And so when they take it home, people look at it and they go, hey, that's you. There you go. Yeah, I'm 54, soon to be 55. And yes, that's our genre, right? That's our era. True. The gun, but if I was doing a headshot like this, well, I guess I could put the gun up in the corner, right? And then you would know, hey, that's Bond. So yeah, he's got some of the things that just, yeah, or Martini. See, he's got those iconic uh 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 shoot, I forgot what you call them. Iconic props. He's got those iconic props where you can tell, okay, this is where I usually mess up. I start inking before I take out some of my lines. And then when I go to erase the lines, I smear the ink. You're the baby at 48. Wow. But that's good. That's good. It's funny. A lot of times people be like, man, you're old. And I go, yeah, but that beats the alternative because the alternative is dead. So I'll take being old. And now I don't. I used to consider that old, but now I don't. I consider it older. And this is the wrong pen. This is a pen that I have cut the tip off of. And so I can't get fine lines anymore. Let me switch real quick. the chainmail bikini. So I do have that here around the shoulder. So I'm hoping that does kind of give it away. So that's kind of like the only thing I was thinking was the chainmail bikini, which in all reality, right? If you were back in the day and a woman came up to beat you down with a chainmail bikini, would you even be able to focus on the fight? He'd be like, do you know you're wearing a chainmail something or another? Until, she swung her axe or sword and took off one of your limbs. Did you get the TMT card yet? It should have arrived by now. Oh, no, you're saying you just bought it. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I did those last week, right? The TMTs. That was fun. So I had never, or it had at least been well, first of all, I'd never done Ronin, TMT Ronin, never. And it had been so long since I had done a TMT period. See, I messed up again. Uh I can mess it. How did I mess up? So I need to put down the alcohol marker first because otherwise it'll get smeared. And I always forget when I'm working with my inks that if I don't do that first, I'm gonna smear it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put in some of the hair. Which TMT card did you get? And again, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You got the Daredevil? Daredevil is one of my favorite characters. I have no, that's sold already. I did a sketch cover that I really liked. Sometimes I'll do a piece of art that I really like, and I'll take it to a convention, and then in my mind, I'm like, I'm hoping it doesn't sell because I want to bring it home. And those are usually the ones that go first. So Batman is my favorite. Did I miss something about Red Sonja there? Batman's my favorite. Daredevil is in the top five. I think he's in top three. So a few years ago, I got a chance to. I do cosplay sometime, which I thought I would never do, to be honest. I'm never going to cosplay. And then, of course, I wound up cosplaying. So let me put in some base color on this real quick before I get too far. And Daredevil is one of the cosplays that I do. And what's funny is for somebody who said, I'm never going to do cosplay, I wind up spending over $1,000 on my cosplay for Daredevil. But then I had an opportunity to meet Charlie Cox at Orlando MegaCon. And I got a picture of him I'm in my Daredevil costume, and he's, he's kind of a grunge. He's in his grunge wear, jeans and a shirt. And I had a custom made baton, and I asked him to hold it, and he was like, "Sure, no problem." So I got a picture of that, and that was really cool. It was really cool. And then a friend of mine asked me to wear the Daredevil again, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of. I didn't know how much fun cosplay was. You don't sell your comics at the cons? Where are you located at? So one of the things that I've realized is when it comes to the Main Street characters, like Daredevil, Batman, Superman, Captain America, Hulk, all those guys. Hulk is my second favorite, as by the way. So the top three are Batman, Hulk, and then Daredevil. Um, some of my friends tell me I'm like the Hulk because I'm always angry, and I'm like, yeah. So leave me alone. Um, I'm not big enough to play the Hulk, but I think my Daredevil came out pretty nice. Um, but one of the for me personally, one of the things I found is when it comes to the big, uh, well-known comics, if I'm at a con and someone's asking about the uh, the characters that I do for them, if I charge too much, then they might as well just go over to the pro table and get it from the guy who's drawn it, you know, for the publisher. So no matter how well I do it, I have to remember that DC and Marvel have not hired me to draw that comic yet. So I'm not top tier when it comes to the no matter how good it is, you know, if you charge too much, it's always like, well, I'll go get it from the person who really draws it. And I completely understand that. Wow. 11 cons. So let me ask you this. Have you asked people why? Have you said, hey, by the way, because what I did when I will admit, my very first con, I actually didn't have any comic covers. I just had sketches. But if someone stopped by my table and they went through the portfolio and they didn't buy anything, I would say, so can I ask you a question? And they go, sure. I go, you look through my portfolio. What do you think of my art? And they would say, oh, well, this, that, or the other. And I go, no, tell me the truth. It's not going to hurt my feelings. And then they would tell me why they did or didn't like it. And then I would say, okay, um, what could I do different where you could see yourself now purchasing some art from me? And you really got to be able to swallow your pride for something like that, to be honest, because some of the feedback was a little brutal, but it was okay because I was like, you know what, I needed to understand what it was about it that they thought it was good, but not good enough to purchase. I'm like, okay, got you. I completely understand where you're coming from now. What's the exchange rate on that? I have no idea what $100 Canadian is. Is that considered? So I initially I put out a few comics covers for $100. And like I said, I put some time into them and I thought they were pretty good. But then as I walk around, and I'm honest with myself, I go, if I had $100 to spend, would I buy the one here at my table or would I buy something at somebody else's table? And if the answer was, as I was honest with myself, that I would buy something else from somebody else's table, I was like, okay, where do I need to adjust for fire? Because obviously, it's just like I said, it's that honesty part until you build up your audience. Because once I developed my audience, then I'm like, okay. And I was able to do commissions at a higher price, but the convention sketches or the convention covers were lower priced. But then if like someone's like, oh wow, I really like this, Could you do this for me? Then I would give them a higher price point for the commission. Okay, yeah, 75 is very reasonable. $75 is very reasonable. So you just got to figure out what it is. When people stop by and they don't purchase, because I still do it now. I do pretty good at cons now when I do them. But when someone stops by, I'm not shy about, okay, you checked out what I had, but obviously it didn't grab you enough to purchase it. So what's missing? What was that piece that just not quite, you know, what you wanted? And then, people be like, well, I don't want to be mean. I go, no, 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 you're not being mean at all. You're helping me because, I put time and effort into this stuff. And so if you don't like it, I want to make sure I'm putting my efforts into the right stuff. And, like I said, sometime when you ask for the truth and people give it to you, it can be hurtful, but you gotta deal with it. That's part of being a professional. Because when you do professional work, where somebody does commission you to do something, they have very little patience for, if it ain't what they want, they'll be like, I ain't what I asked for. That's some bullshit. And you're like, what do you mean? But if they don't like it, then it's not what they wanted, and it's nothing against you or against them. It's just the fact of life, right? Yeah, just ask them, and let them know, hey, they're not going to hurt your feelings, even though they might. They might hurt your feelings. They may say some stuff, and you're like, oh my god, because I did have, because sometimes, especially when you do the picture, you're not 100% sure of what's not right. And then it catches you off guard. But you also have to understand man, I can't believe I didn't leave space in the eye. Does Red Sonja have special color eyes? Are her eyes a unique color? I don't know. Green? Okay. And then the other thing that I did was, since you're an artist, let's talk about it. Do you have artist friends who can be brutally honest with you, who you can show them something and they can go, yo, man, that's ugly, or that's wrong, and you not take it personally? Because that's the piece. Or do you have someone who's maybe he's not an artist friend, who will just be honest with you and tell you when something doesn't look good? Because maybe they know the character well, or they can't. An artist friend can tell you, what's, if it's right, if it's wrong, and maybe how to fix it. So that's why that's pretty cool. A non-artist friend can tell you if it's right or wrong, but they may not be able to tell you how to fix it. They'll just be like, "No, man, it doesn't look right." Um, and so once you get a friend who can be brutally honest with you, and I have a few like that I can show them something and they'll go, that's ugly, dude. And I go, why? And then they point it out and I go, ooh, wow, you're right. And then I can say, well, shoot, what did I do wrong? How do I fix it? And sometimes I can fix it, sometimes I can't, just depending on what it is. But then I also have a few friends who just love comics, and they'll tell me that's not right. Um, like now, you all are telling me I don't do Red Sonja, so you all are helping me out with, this is what she looks like, this is what, she is this what, she is, this is what she's not, which I appreciate. Then the second part is pricing out your work, right? Um, it's a fine line between getting what you feel you're worth and getting what someone else's think it's worth. It's like real estate. You may love your house and think your house is worth all kind of money, but it's only worth what somebody's willing to pay for, right? That's what your house is worth. It's not worth anything else. It's worth what somebody else is willing to pay for it. No matter how much you love it, that's all it is. Mr. Black, I'm still waiting to see your stuff. Um, I'm going to say for me, that one friend that I got a few years ago, and also, I'm not going to lie, sometimes it will hurt your feelings, right? You'll be like, man, I put a lot into this, and that's okay. It's you can be hurt, but then after that, go fix it. Go fix it and do it over. The cool thing is, here's the absolute best part of it. It's paper or it's a canvas. It's something that you can do over at a relatively, affordable cost. Now, when I do paintings, that's a little bit different. Why? Because they cost a little bit more money to do, but it doesn't matter. If it's ugly, it's ugly, right? I can't do anything if it's ugly. Um, the other thing that I've made a distinguishment to do is, and this is just something that actually me and another friend of mine worked out with, another artist friend of mine worked out with. You got to understand what you're doing and who you're doing it for. For example, these sketch cards. As you notice, I didn't do a whole lot of erasing. What's up, Hell Candy? I didn't do a whole lot of erasing, but I'm also not going to try to sell this as a masterpiece theater either. Whereas the paintings, I do more planning out, um, and try to make them a little more. What's the word I'm looking for? Final product ready. But a sketch card, a couple of minutes, trying to make something that's cool. Oh, you got some deviant art stuff going too. I'm gonna definitely have to check that out. Have I seen your? I think I seen your Instagram, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, I think I saw your Instagram. But what I'm waiting on you to do is get into painting, right? That's what we talked about. Did you get your the paint you wanted yet? They were asking for old stuff. For anyone that doesn't know Hail Candy, who just joined us, she's fantastic, super detailed, incredible artist. I never had an idol before, but if I did, it would be her. Oh. Now, if you all check her stuff out, the patience and care she puts into her pieces, the creativity she puts in her pieces, absolutely outstanding. Oh my God, she's fantastic. And she just happens to be one of the coolest people ever. A lot of fun at the parties. I can believe it. I would not doubt that one bit that you were a lot of fun at the parties. I would definitely party with you. When is the move date? When is the big move date? Or have you moved already? Has the semester started? Have you made that move yet? You are not. I know that's not true. What else you all want to talk about? Let's talk about convention setup. That's another thing that I've noticed, that I really had to work on is getting people to the table, especially as you get to some of the larger conventions, because there's a lot of, like when I do MegaCon in Orlando, or I do Savannah. Um, I mean, there's a lot to choose from, and people, when they walk through Artist Alley, unless they're specifically looking for you, unless you've already made that, hey, come see me at the place, they they're just gonna walk until something catches their eye, and then after something catches their eye, they may swing on over. Now, once they swing on over, you got to have a pitch ready. You got to be like, welcoming. Uh, some people will be drawing, and they can get them engaged. One thing I like about doing this is it helps me practice drawing and talking at the same time. Oh, do a live show. Don't be scared. Now, co-hosting is a lot of fun too. So check it out. Hellcand and I did a show together where we co-host each other, and it's cool because you don't have to stop to read the chat because you have someone to actually talk to, right? That's pretty cool. And it helps out a lot when you don't have to stop and look at the chat. But I like doing this because it makes me practice stopping to look at the chat. And I think, where's my color sheet practice? I think this is the color I want. Yeah. And when I first was doing cons, that was one of the things I had trouble with was, someone would ask me to draw, and I was like, I can't draw and work the table at the same time. And my friend, my art buddy, he was like, dude, you have to be able to just stop. And because some people, they want the art, but they want to see you make it. They want to be able to say, not only did I get it from the artist themselves, I saw them make it. I stood there and watched them do it. And then they think that is like bananas cool. And it is. It is actually very bananas cool. Is this a white marker? So, because I'm the same way, I'll go to the con, and I'll be like, "Ooh, I want to see them make this." And so once I would say that was another thing that once I started doing that, my con sales got better as well. But this is a good avenue to do it because it's low threat. You know, to be honest, this is pretty low threat. Sometimes I'm on here and there's nobody on here watching, but I still talk. I talk about movies. I talk about what's coming up. I talk about projects that I have coming up in the future, and it just gets me, practicing. All right, how's that one for the first go round? Yeah, it's a huge difference when people see you do it. I don't know what it is, but I do know what it is. It's again, it's that part. It's that feeling of I was there. I saw them do it. It was so cool. Um, and they cherish that and they enjoy it. Uh, and I was like, wow, okay. And where it gets tricky is sometime at a con, somebody will ask me for something pretty complex. And I'm like, all right, I can do it, but you're not going to see it. That I can't do that right here, right now. And they'll be like, oh, come on. I go, dude, no, there's no way. And then they're like, all right. I'm like, you're asking for a lot. And it's not that I couldn't do it in front of them. It's they're asking for a piece that's going to take me, several hours. And if you're working a table, that it's going to be kind of hard to do that for somebody. Now, what I've resorted to now is I hire an assistant, and they can take sales and stuff while I'm working on a piece for somebody, and it makes things a little bit easier. This one is this one's coming out better. Hell, Candy, I would love for you to be my art assistant at one of the cons. I think that would be so cool for us to hang out together and work a table together. I wish I needed security. There's nothing to secure here. I'm getting to the point where, people will come, if I tell them I'm at a con, they'll come by, but I definitely don't need security yet. But I do, when, like I said, some people like to see you do it live, but when you're doing it live, you can't necessarily engage with people who are coming by your table. And so my art assistant, uh, and I've hired guys and ladies to do it for me. So it doesn't have to be one or the other. But my friend Mike, who's helped me out before, he was a comic head, so he could sit there and talk comics with people and keep them engaged until I had some time. And then my friend Elizabeth, she liked some of the comics, but she really liked Star Wars and some anime, so she can keep people engaged. And she's beautiful, so people just come by sometime, not for me but for her. And now what I do is if I know one of my friends is going to be there, I'll ask the promoter to give us a table next to each other, and then we kind of play off of each other. All right, there's Lady Red Sonja number one. All right, we got time. Let's do another one. How are we doing on time? That one, what was that? 30 minutes? Not bad. All right, take it easy, Ray. Enjoy. Tell bro I said happy birthday. Bring all the stink bombs. All right. So that's one. Let's see if we can do. We'll try to get one with a little battle damage. More looking straight on. A little bit, maybe not 100% straight on, because then got to worry about symmetry and all that stuff. But con work is a different beast altogether. I'll be honest, I don't consider myself a con artist. One of my buddies who, and I keep talking about him. We just released our Kickstarter yesterday. If you're into comic books, we just released a crime thriller. It's called Time Served. It is live on Kickstarter now. And my friend Cool drew it. The story was conceived by me, and then I hired writer Jonathan Hedrick, who's a fantastic writer, to script it out. And we finished it and just released it. And we were funded within the first hour, so that was cool. But it'll be up for a little while. If you like crime thrillers, that's issue number 1 that we just released. And but cool. The reason I bring that up, Cool, who's my friend that we work together. He's the honest guy. He's my my confidant. I'll send him something. I'll be like, what do you think of this? And he'll tell me, give me some help, some ideas maybe. And let me know what he's thinking, if I'm on the right track or something. But we get tables together now, and we're like brothers. And we just laugh and joke, and people come by and they're like, what is up with you all? What are you all doing? Because they hear the laughter. And it's another way to get people involved, to stop by. And then when they stop by, if they stop by my table, he'll be like, when you finish looking at the amateur, come over and check out what I got when you're ready to see some real art. Which, if somebody else said that at your table, I'd be like, hey man, what the hell? But that's part of our shtick. And then if they stop by his table first, I'd be like, so we work together. He's a comic artist. I'm a master illustrator. So, depending on what you want, you might make sure you stop by here too. And then we tease each other, and then people kind of realize, they go, wait a minute, you all know each other. And then we go, yeah, we're friends. We work together. And they, especially when they pick up one of the books and both our names are on it, they go, wait a minute, didn't you just say you're Brad Scott and he's cool? I go, yeah. They go, why does this have both your names on it? And I'm like, because we work together. And they go, oh man, we thought y'all were like really beefing. And go, no, man, we're friends. We're brothers. Yes. Issue 2, I'm going to do a cover. But I am working on another. I work. I do fantasy art primarily, and I have built a Dungeons and Dragons type game. It's called Lords of the Labyrinth, and it started out just as an expansion module to D&D, but now it is it's a full-blown standalone game. So you can play it as a module to D&D, or you can play it standalone. I've developed a gaming system to go along with it, which took me a while to do because that's not my forte, but it's another piece of, creativity that I wanted to learn. And so I did. And I really actually want her to be like, no, I'll leave it alone. Um, and so I've been working on that. And Cool is a comic artist. He always says he lives between the panels. That is his forte. And Jonathan Hedrick is a comic writer, and I really wanted to highlight their skills. I started an independent art studio about in 2019, and you know I've just been working with different people to put out new projects and keep things nice and exciting. So, so I'm trying to focus on the hair and see, you know, try to make it cool. And this one, I'm going to try a little bit something different, and we'll see how it turns out. But I'm going to just use marker. I'm not going to add any lines, and let's see if we can make something cool. Um, but yeah, I'm doing a cover for issue number 2, which we've already started on, which will be coming out in June. It will be 6 issues in total, 5 or 6. It depends on where the story goes, really. But we're planning on 6. We might be done in 5. I'll probably do some concept art or some mini prints of the main characters, and it's a fun story. It's got some pretty cool characters in it. Did I miss? I think I asked you if you got your paints yet. Did you answer that one? Did I miss it? The answer on that one? The other thing I'm always trying to do is make a woman look mad. Although really, all I have to do is go in the other room and just say, you know, ask my wife, be like, "Hey," and if she turns around, I'll be like, "Ah, that's what a mad woman looks like." That's all I have to really do to see that. Oh, nice, nice. Have you decided what kind of genre you want to get into first? Um, what you're gonna work on, practice on? All right, this one, like I said, I'm gonna try to do just with marker, no line work, and see how it goes. So it's gonna be a little bit tricky because I need to erase it enough so it doesn't show through, but enough so I can still see it. Although I guess I will need to do some line work for the eyes. Green eyes. Did I keep the green out? I did not. Yeah, just have fun with it. and then see what you like. That's the cool thing about it. Like I said, the worst thing is it'll cost you a piece of paper. You know, that's nothing wrong with that. Pokemon, that'll be cool. And actually, that'll really help with some of the what am I thinking of here? The gradients and shading, transitions and stuff. I think that's a good idea. You know, it's funny. It's been a long time since I just tried to do straight marker, no no line work. I don't do it very often. I think the last time I did it was when I was working on the Arcane show um, pictures that I did because they don't have that line work, and so I think that's the last time I actually did it. So I'm trying to find my way into doing it here. It looks weird right now, but I think it'll come through once I start getting some more values in there. The Red Sonja facial mask, the beauty mask of Red Sonja. And I have to make sure I leave. Working with the markers is always tricky because I have to make sure I don't cover up something from another color that is intended to be lighter. Because I can always go over something darker, and that I won't. And I think I need a little bit more on the mouth right there. All right. I don't know how this is going to come out, but we'll go for it. Right now, I'm starting to see the form take shape. Which I don't know if it's okay. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. I think I am going to wind up doing some of the parts around the eyes. I think I'm going to have to. Do a little color variation on that. It's almost like painting with the markers, except I know I can't. Oh, actually, I mean, I shouldn't say that. I do have the whiteout if I need it. I'd rather not use it, but should the worst happen, I can always white something out. Yeah, I think it's starting to take a little life of itself. Working with the smaller 4x6 is a little harder as well. But how's that looking without the lines? You know, which do you dig better? You dig the comic style or the painted style? Which do you dig more? And I think light is coming in from this way. Ah, cool, cool. Yeah, this is the way I would prefer to work personally. Um, it takes a little more time, but I love that painted style. It's just, it's more of what I like. It's what I like. All right, let's knock out some fantastic hair. What do I want? Normally, if I was doing this on like a 9x12 or more of a finished piece, I would do a watercolor background first. Um, because that does a couple of things. One, it helps push the background back and the foreground forward. It helps to highlight the character. And personally, I like that look of the mixed media. But of course, it takes longer to dry, painting out the whole piece. And I always tell myself, okay, you know what you're doing. Coming up the next week, go ahead and do some some painted cards to have them ready, and then I don't do it. I get here and I go, oh wait, I wish I had, you know, painted a couple of backgrounds and had them ready, and then I'd be ready to just draw on top of the background. But part of the reason is I like for you all to see, what I'm doing and follow along if you want to. Again, it's that some people want to see the whole thing being created, and that's cool. I can completely understand it. Um, because I like doing it. I like going to and seeing my favorite artist, actually do the piece. So I completely understand where people are coming from. Like, I want to see you do it. I don't. I can go online anytime and just buy something. Um, and after the show is over, I'm going to put both these on auction for $1. And then if somebody picks them up, cool. If not, then I'll put a regular price tag on them and put them in the store. But I'm kind of digging how this one's coming out so far. I like that painted look. I think it works. Yeah, I got to figure out the right color. Now that I'm working this painted, I don't want to come in with a harsh black and just although the eyes are the window to the soul, right? But I'm digging it. I'm digging it. I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, but I'm digging it. There's something about a woman with wild hair that I personally find very sexy and appealing. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just that animalistic, getting in touch with the primitive side. Um, I've always loved it in the older movies where the woman would let her hair down, and you're like, oh, you're like a totally different person. So this came out pretty good. Um, I think I know what I'm going to do with the eyes. The the eyebrows, I'm not 100% sure because they are black, but I don't think I want to use black. So I'm going to go with a burnt sienna and see how it comes out. Like, I don't know if there's enough here to distinguish that this is red Sonja. Doing headshots, that's actually came out pretty good. I can dig it. I can dig it. I do want to get some highlights in there. So if I get in quick enough, I might be able to blend in some highlight there. That's the other cool thing about alcohol markers. They blend. And so I don't know if you can see that. I did not see the music awards. I was probably working. Did she have her wild hair out? The crazy thing about her is, to me, she's a kid. I just can't look at her in any other way other than being a kid, because I remember, was it Hannah Barb, whatever what that character was. That's all I can remember when I see her. So I've never really looked at her as anything else but that. Um, Although I mean, she's definitely a beautiful young lady now. I don't want to take that away. It's just that to me, she's just always to be that young kid. I can't find the color that I want. Give me just a moment here. I'm looking for something that's not going to be too distracting. We'll try this. I don't know. I don't think that's too bad. Yeah, that'll work. All right. How's that? We've gotten a little bit too out of whack there. I can dig it. I can dig it. Now I need to add some highlights. I want to, and actually let's put a little cleavage in there. I think we got a room for a little cleavage. I think we're down the neckline enough to show a little indication of there's some cleavage there. And then there would be a little throat line right there. And now we got to add in a highlight. That's going to be a little harder. but I think we can do it. Again, the alcohol markers, they blend. So, oh, did I pull the wrong color? I pulled the wrong color. That's okay. I'll just go ahead and put a little. Pulled the wrong color, but I think I can make that work. Or did I just put it on the wrong side? It's not necessarily the wrong color. It may just be the wrong side. There we go. She mad. She is. She mad. And that is not the color that I want. I need a really bright color now to finish it off. I need something really bright. Do a little test over here. And I want to try to brighten up that bridge of the nose just a little bit. And you can see how that alcohol marker just kind of lifts it up a little bit. And then maybe put in a little highlight under the eye here. And last, I want to, where's my gray? I want to pull out those right up the eye, push that back a little bit, put those eyes in shadow. Oh, I don't know. I'm kind of digging it. I think I need to bring that one color down. Just follow it down a little bit more around the neckline there. And then just highlight that top lip a little bit. And that should blend right in. I don't know. I'm digging it. What do you think? Thank you. Thank you. I like it too. I like it too. And then I'll just put in. I'll put this upper lip back in, just keeping that highlight. And I will put in that line around the nose again. I think that came out pretty cool. I am happy with that. I do want to add a little bit more. I think she looks kind of badass. And now I'm going to quick background, go with a simple dark green. Do I want to go it that way? Yeah. Just a simple dark green. And then we're going to put these two up for auction for $1. Just give me a second here to kind of get that in there. I think these both came out pretty good. I'm not mad. First time doing Red Sonja in a long time. I may do a 9x12 next time. You know, a more full body sketch where we can put her in an action pose, throw some blood splatter out there, maybe have somebody dying beneath her feet, as would be the case. Knocking out 2 quick sketch cards. I think we did okay for tonight. What do you all think? Are we good to go? Oh, yeah. I like that. I like that. All right, cool. So let me get these both up. And we're going to do a quick dollar auction. The first one we'll do comic style, and then the second one we'll do the painted style. So they're going to go on auction here for just $1. I did not already have this set up, so give me just a second here. get a quick picture. And this is a comic art, Red Sonja sketch card. And it's a 4x6. I'm going to start it at $1. We're going to have 2 of them. Super cheap shipping. All right, the first one we're going to auction off is let me get that out of there, is the comic style. So let me move this one out the way to make sure it's clear. And we're going to auction it off 30 seconds for $1. That's the one we're doing right there. Comic style, Red Sonja. Just taking a quick minute to say thank you to everyone for stopping by. I appreciate it. It's always fun doing something I haven't done before. If there's ideas for next week, let me know. And, we'll make it happen. I've definitely been, getting a lot of new stuff requested, like the Mutant Ninja Turtles and all that other stuff. And then we'll do the fantasy version for $1. And I definitely like this one myself. And next week, on Thursday of next week, we're going to start our fantasy painting, 9x12 full painting of Merlin the Magician. So I'm looking forward to that one. And then next Saturday, I'm not sure what we're going to do. But next Thursday, full painting, Merlin the Magician. All right. So thanks a lot for stopping by. It looks like Mr. Black, the fantasy version is yours. And thanks, everybody. I appreciate it. This was a lot of fun. I'm going to put both of these up for the thumbnail shot to make sure that I get a good thumbnail. You all have a great night. If you like crime thriller comics, definitely check out Time Served on Kickstarter. I had up some dollar early bird versions where you could get the comic for $1. There may be 1 or 2 of those left. I'm not sure. But other than that, thanks a lot. Everybody, I appreciate you hanging out with me for a little while tonight. We were able to knock out 2 beautiful sketch cards. I'm happy with them and definitely learned a little bit on both of them. So thanks a lot. You all take care. Peace out.